Oh. Oh. Well, that's enough of that. Yeah. It all boils down to Brandon Duhaime. Multiple goals in this first round series. The Washington Capitals have scored their fourth goal of the game, taking a 4-1 lead. And the Montreal Canadiens are going back home, not for a Game 6, but because they got eliminated. Okay, it hasn't happened yet at the time of me talking into this microphone. There's 20 seconds of game time left. But, you know, I'm proud of my Montreal Canadiens. The Habs, man. What a comeback story. Out of nowhere. 3% odds of making the Stanley Cup Playoffs back on February 1st. And they shocked the world by forcing their way into the dance. Ivan Demidov looked great. Nick Suzuki had some opportunities. The Habs hit some posts here. They had some shots, but they just could not solve Logan Thompson. Jakub Dobes, shout out to you, man. This definitely wasn't his best game per se, but it's hard to really fault him for some of these goals that did go in. I mean, an Ovi one-timer right off the dot? That's kind of hard for anybody to stop, right? It's Ovechkin, come on! You can't be too upset at the guy for letting that in. But ultimately, the Habs, they had life, they had bite, they had a stellar game number 3, which really put more of the excitement back in Montreal's favor. But after the Game 4 that we had seen on Sunday, and this Game 5, wherein Washington officially wins 4-1, the Montreal Canadiens are going home with their heads hopefully held up high. The deserve to win-o-meter on MoneyPuck.com in this game split right down the middle, 50.7% for Washington, 49.3% for Montreal. Equal levels of chances, equal scoring opportunities. You can say the Habs had a whole bunch of expected goals towards the end of the game here and throughout parts of the first and third. But the Habs, I mean, they just had so many high-danger opportunities. Demidov centering feed out in front for Nick Suzuki. He's not able to corral it and shoot it in time. Suzuki also with the tip on the Hudson shot, or whomever it was that shot it in the third period that goes off the post. The only goal scored by Montreal is by Emil Heineman. It's tossed towards the front of the goal there by Yoel Armia, and Heine ends up getting the goal by Thompson, who, by the way, was absolutely stellar in his own right in this game. They were talking about it in the third period here, the Sammy Montembeault, Logan Thompson conversation, the Team Canada face-off, Four Nations face-off, conversation that was there. And ultimately, Logan Thompson was a brick wall. And now on my television screen, I am watching the handshake line. The guy's going out there and displaying the ultimate form of sportsmanship after playing 5 games of trying to kill each other. Yeah, the dichotomy of hockey players' brains and what they're capable of doing, putting aside their begrudging feelings for each other in the name of sport and in the name of showing that sportsmanship. Montreal, though, they did have themselves some issues in this game. I don't want to say that they played fantastically. They did have chances, they did get stopped, but they also did have some fumbles of their own. Juraj Slafkovsky's penalty that was taken on the power play, definitely not a good look. Making the game 4-on-4 and giving Washington an ensuing power play opportunity. This is where, of course, we saw Alex Ovechkin score that dagger of a shot on the face-off victory. Lindstrom wins the draw, plays it right to Ovi, and that's a one-time bomb that's going to go in 90-something% of the time. Strome, though, assisted or scored, over 50% of the Caps' goals in this series? That guy just came alive. Totally decided to torch the Montreal Canadiens. On my television screen, they're paying tribute to David Savard now, who has just played his last National Hockey League game. Big shout out over to Big Daddy D David Savard as well. I don't want to say that he was perfect, but he did his job, for the most part. Blocking shots, getting in the fight, being a leader. He's been that the entire season, and his presence, while I think a lot of Canadiens fans would agree that it's probably time for other right-handed defensemen, probably younger right-handed defensemen, to step into those shoes and fill that spot in the lineup, I think a lot of us will respect and appreciate what David Savard brought to the Canadiens as a hometown guy coming back to Montreal after winning a championship with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Good career here for David Savard, from CBJ to TBL to MTL. Now, final thoughts here on the Canadiens. I think the biggest thing that we should be hopeful for as Habs fans is just the excitement for the future, you know? We've been saying it the entire time, this was bonus hockey. They shouldn't have even been here. It was probably supposed to be Columbus or some other team that forced their way into the final wildcard spot. Montreal had a 2-something% chance of making the dance just a few months ago, and now they're here, going out admirably in a super tight series against Washington. Sure, not all the games were tight in score. Sure, not all the games were overtime wins by Washington. But the Caps, even though they did win some of these games by a decent margin on the score sheet, the Habs definitely made things interesting, and the best part is they did not quit. Ivan Demidov almost fumbled the empty net goal against by skating a little bit too slowly, but he didn't quit and back-checked enough to get the puck back. We gotta give our props over to the Washington Capitals as well. Tommy Wilson, the bully that he was, the goal scorer that he was in this game, he certainly had a presence. Alex Ovechkin scoring all the goals that he did in this series. Alexis Protas coming back and being as effective as he was in a limited role. Pierre-Luc Dubois, while he did take a penalty that did help the Canadiens, it was quickly taken off by Juraj Slafkovsky's offsetting minor. There's a lot to like out of this Washington Capitals team. And I know I did say that they would beat Montreal in 5, so my prediction was actually correct here. It does feel a little bit dire, honestly. Like, I'm not too sure how far the Caps are going to go in this playoff run here. Like, it's the first time since 2018 they've won a playoff series. It's been so many years of getting in but losing in the first round over and over again. Now they beat Montreal. My question is, how do they fare in their second round matchup against, who is it going to be, the Carolina Hurricanes? Yeah, the Hurricanes. The Canes just totally dummied the New Jersey Devils, so I think they probably have a better shot at defeating Washington, considering that New Jersey is a better team than Montreal. Although the Devils don't have Jack Hughes, though. But you could say the same thing, Montreal doesn't have Line A. Maybe it is a lot different. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Habs and the Capitals. We'll let this game marinate in our brains for a little bit longer before we fully dive into what's next for Montreal. But in terms of the holistic view on this season that this game can provide to us, Habs fans absolutely cannot feel anything less than pride in their team. The Habs gave everybody a lot to cheer for. Win or lose in round 1, it was still a very successful season. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Montreal and Washington game number 5. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.